Hello, everybody. Things have kind of settled down here finally, and I thought I'd come on and do a video on what started my collection. I grew up in a house. Most of you talk about your grandfather leaving you knives and your dad leaving you knives. If you didn't know my dad personally, you would think he carried the same knife his whole life. When I was, well, mid 50s, let's put it that way, I went with him to a knife store in Port of Spain, and he found a knife he liked. He bought four of them, and he was carrying the last one when he finally passed away. Um, my passion for knives, I've had knives, but my passion for knives started about 2 years ago. I got to watching TV, and you know how they'll do on YouTube, they'll switch over to something else, and it switched over to John at Thrifty Knifty, and he was doing one on his sow bellies, but he was talking about the Rough Riders. So I ordered me a couple of Rough Riders. This is the first one I got, and I always called it the second generation. I don't know if it's second or third. It's the ones with the scripted Rough Rider. There it is. But I love the bone on this thing. It's a really pretty knife. It's a 3.5 inch, and I liked it so much I ordered another one. I saw this one. Now, this one here is class all the way. I want you to look at the difference in the nail nicks. This thing is gorgeous. I mean, it is really a pretty knife. Black pearl. And I thought, man, I really like these knives. So I bought a bunch of them. I got involved in the small mooses, really liked them, and I finally got this one. Was the last one I got. Filled. I had the complete collection of the small ones, and this is the cinnamon bone with the if I can get it to lock into Damascus half stops. I mean, just a really nice knife. Everybody quit. Everybody was reviewing nothing but Rough Riders for a while there, and everybody started going on to the older knives. So I went into a store and found this flea market, and it's a Popeyes, made by Imperial. This one's 1930 to 1936, and I just fell in love with this little knife. Half stops, and it's got good action in it, considering the age. So I went on eBay and started looking, and I found a bunch of knives like this. They're the shell knives, but you don't see the two-bladed shell knives very often. I found this one, Deputy Sheriff, another shell knife, but it's new old stock just like that one. And it's the Imperial Knife Company too. And I think most of you have seen this one. I picked this one up because it was a equal end cattle knife. But when I got it, something they hadn't mentioned about it, it had all that filing on the back. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful when here in person. But it's a cattle knife, and it's got the all for the leather work, leather punch. Definitely needs to be cleaned out. I've carried this thing for about a year. I haven't cleaned it since I started carrying it, so I'll have to apologize for that. And I decided, well, I'm going to start going to thrift stores because everybody else was talking about these knives they were buying for $10. And I found this old thing. I spent over 2 weeks sitting here hand cleaning on this thing until I got all the rust off. Little Camillus. When I got the rust off is when I found filings on the liners. There it is. And then you go to the back liners, and you got filings, 4 different sections. So I went out looking, and I've got most of these now. Then I started looking for really old knives. I found this one. That's the highlight of those. This is by Empire. And you figure it's over 100 years old, but look at the handle on that. I mean, absolutely perfect. But that's how I got started. I got into all the copper knives. Rough Rider made quite a few of those. But that's how it all started, and hope you enjoyed seeing it. You notice one thing, though, there's no Schrades down here. How I got started on Schrades, I don't know, but I fell in love with them, and that's probably the only knives I'll really check for on a regular basis from here on out. Tomorrow I've got a really special one, so if you want to come back on for Sunday Schrade or Schrade Sunday, I'd definitely like to show you a really special knife. You guys have a nice night, and God bless you.